This is Feed Your Mind. So NASA scientists are saying they don't actually know why the moon gets larger at the horizon.
So why does the moon look larger on the horizon? The short answer is we don't know. We've been talking about this for 2,000 years. Aristotle mentions it. And in our own time, scientists are designing experiments to figure out exactly what's going on. But there's no consensus yet. Here's what we do know. The atmosphere isn't magnifying the moon. If anything, atmospheric refraction squashes it a little bit. And the moon's not closer to us at the horizon. It's about 1.5% farther away. Also, it isn't just the moon. Constellations look huge on the horizon too. One popular idea is that this is a variation on the Ponzo illusion. Everything in our experience seems to shrink as it recedes toward the horizon. I mean, clouds and planes and cars and ships. But the moon doesn't do that. So our minds make up a story to reconcile this inconsistency. Somehow the moon gets bigger when it's at the horizon. That's one popular hypothesis, but there are others. And we're still waiting for the experiment that will convince everyone that we understand this. So why does the moon look larger on the horizon? We don't really know, but scientists are still trying to figure it out.
The sun also does this sometimes. So look, I have theories about why you get a larger moon and a larger sun, and I've brainstormed on it before, and I usually concluded that it has something to do with the atmosphere. So it could be a magnification in the atmosphere, kind of like how Rob Skiba was proving. He can show you how the sun can set on a kitchen table. He can make the sun set using magnification. So with the atmosphere, there is something going on with magnification, and this proves it. And this is actually important to know. And I find it kind of strange how scientists are so baffled about why the moon gets larger at the horizon. They're saying that it's not the atmosphere. They're still trying to figure out why the moon gets larger, and maybe they just don't want to admit that with the optics of the atmosphere, this has everything to do with why you might see boats allegedly disappear over the horizon, because the boat's not really disappearing over the horizon. It's optical illusions. And once they start admitting stuff like that, then they'll have to acknowledge that boats aren't really disappearing over the horizon. And so I also have some hypotheses that I've explored in some of my other videos where I explained to you about the apparent sun, and even scientists have admitted that the sun can be apparent, what they're calling an imaginary sun, because the sun's position might not always be where you think it is, even though you can keep track of time with the celestial bodies above. So when it comes down to it, they are still trying to figure out why the moon gets bigger at the lowest point in the horizon. And it just baffles me that they haven't explored any options about what they could be looking at. So this is pretty interesting that scientists don't have an answer for this. But yeah, like I said, with my hypothesis about the source sun and the source moon, we've covered in some of my other videos. Check out my final experiment playlist, where you'll see that there's a hypothesis about the black sun projecting the sun and the moon, and also with the North Polaris. So there's information out there that the moon and the sun might be a projection coming from the black sun below, or even the Polaris, or maybe that involves both the Polaris and the black sun. But whatever it is, they're saying that the sun and the moon is a projection of that. And so yeah, let me know your thoughts about what these scientists are saying about being baffled about the moon being larger at the horizon. I just really think they haven't explored all of the possibilities about the atmosphere and how the atmosphere can influence the optics of what we are seeing. And so I'm going to leave some links for you if you want to do more research with me on the subject. I also leave links to my other channels, my social media, my Feed Your Mind store, my free email newsletters, and much more. If you would like to support this channel, please donate as little as $1 to help keep this channel online by becoming a YouTube member or a monthly patron. I also have a thank you button. So this has been Feed Your Mind. Thank you for tuning in. Signing off.